Good to have you on SaharaTv, sir.
Uh, Thank you.
What is experiencing crashing price of oil? What does this mean for Nigeria?
What does it?
What does it mean for Nigeria?
Well, see, you should not take the collapse in the price of oil out of context.
Mm.
It has no meaning once you take it out of context. It only has meaning when you relate it to the root cause. And the root cause is that a global pandemic has led to a lockdown of maybe 90% of the world, making demand for crude oil to collapse, sending prices crashing to zero. Are we together?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So what matters to Nigeria is the pandemic, not its consequences.
Mm.
The question is the pandemic that has led to the collapse in the demand for oil, how much longer will it rage? Because as soon as the world can bring the pandemic under control, demand will resume and the price of oil will go back up.
Mm.
So let's not get, the picture wrong. Now, China, where the pandemic started from, that is credited to account for about a quarter of world demand for oil, is already ending its own lockdown. It's reopening. Parts of Europe, where you had severe outbreaks, more severe than what happened in China, they are reopening. America is beginning to debate when to reopen. And sooner rather than later, the significant parts of the global economy will end their lockdown and demand will resume. So let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. If the problem originated from oil sector itself, that the oil sector melted down on its own, is a different situation. This is induced by a pandemic which you can only contain with a lockdown.
All right.
And it's been contained in some countries. Lockdown is ending, so demand will resume and we will move on.
Mr. Ayo, with what you have seen so far, do you think the federal government they are fighting the so-called pandemic?
If we go by our own experience with the lockdown, Nigeria is suffering really more from the secondary effects of the pandemic rather than from the primary pandemic itself.
Mm.
We still have less than 1,000 cases of the virus, and we have, maybe less than 20 deaths or thereabout. So Nigeria isn't an arena that is endemic with the disease, but the shutdown of the global economy affects Nigeria negatively. And we too have to shut down to prevent a situation in which what has happened in Italy will happen in Nigeria, what happened in Spain will happen in Nigeria, what is happening in America will happen in Nigeria. We see that we don't have the medical facilities to cope with, large numbers of people getting infected. So you have to commend the Nigerian government since February 27th that we found the first case for still managing to take precautionary measures and keep the numbers low. Now, once the lockdown ends elsewhere, once the pandemic is gone under control elsewhere, the risk of they being brought into Nigeria will also drop. Since we don't have a situation in which you have mass outbreak within the country. Most of the cases being isolated are the ones that are still brought it in from abroad. So you need to commend the government, at least for other African countries are commending the Nigerian government, or the WHO is commending the Nigerian government for its precautionary measures. However, whatever precautionary measures we take, as long as the rest of the world is locked down and the price of commodities are, at the bottom, you can't travel, you can't import, you can't export, we are also adversely affected. So it's a question. The question for Nigeria is how soon is the world going to lift out of the lockdown and demand will resume and the economy can resume. We've been in this now where the president declared closure, restriction of movement.
Of movement, yes.
On the 29th of March. So we are just about a month in the lockdown, although many states locked down about 2 weeks before that. So we're talking 6 weeks in lockdown, maybe 2 more weeks, an unexpected crisis for everybody, including the government. And yes, we all called on the government to try and make sure that palliatives get to the most vulnerable among us, who maybe were daily earners. They don't go and sell in the traffic, they can't earn any money. And the government is rising up to it at the various levels, at the federal and the states, and individual and private companies are rising up to it. Let's hope, that they'll be able to cover the entire, population of the vulnerable. But again, you can see that it's not that the government is not making efforts. That the government is making efforts, and let's hope that this will just be enough. That's my comment.
All right. Considering that our budget is hinged on oil, would you recommend a review of 2020 budget?
Our budget is an annual budget. You just said 2020.
Yes.
You did not say it's March 2020 budget or it's April 2020 budget. So because of a lockdown that will last at most 3 months, you cannot be talking about the budget for the whole year. And in that 3 months, it's not as if you could spend. Your revenues are affected just as your spending are also affected. You can't spend. Government workers are at home. Only essential workers. So, salaries have to be paid in the spirit of mitigation, in making sure that they have money to spend to survive. But it's not just salaries that makes up personnel costs. There are allowances, there are, other claims that you make in the course of coming to work and going, which will not be made. So the lockdown is creating large savings in the budget. You can't implement any capital boost, and overheads you can't secure. So why are we trying to exaggerate the revenue side of it? Our oil revenue is received 60 days after. So the revenue we are still going to get, the president locked down 29th of March, the revenue we are going to get to the end of May will end it before the president lockdown. So I don't think we should exaggerate this. We should just isolate those 3 months. Look at the extent to which it affected revenue. Look at the extent to which it affected expenditure. Let's see how quickly things will pick up after the lockdown. You may still well be on track to meet the budget. Yes, even if the price of oil is not doesn't turn out to be as high as our, was it $56 that we had in the budget?
Yes.
It may turn out, you don't need $57 oil in the period of the lockdown.
All right.
You will need $30 oil too for your budget in the period of the lockdown. So let's wait and see how soon this will end, and then we may be able to, pick up the pieces and move on. But we shouldn't emphasize the downside or take the matter out of context.
All right, Mr. Ayo, finally, with the current reality and outbreak of coronavirus, what is the way forward for Nigeria?
Well, coronavirus presents for us very important lesson. I would also like to start by emphasizing that the pandemic is temporary. The majority of the people that even get infected are going to recover. The fatality rate, is very small, maybe 2%, 3%.
Are you sure with the figures we are getting? Are you sure they are the real figures?
Well, the fatality rate, if you look at the number of people who have recovered compared with the number of people that died, usually the number of people that recover is about 80%. And the number of people that die is about 20% of the, those are no longer active. So this is a temporary problem, even for those who get affected. So now, but the lessons from the temporary period is that it has shown how vulnerable Nigeria is to oil. And it has shown how unreliable it is for the country to depend on debt. You will not always be able to find money. So the tendency of government to rely on cheap sources of revenue like oil exports or debt, Nigeria should turn to other alternatives that may not be cheap, that may not be easy, to seek non-oil revenue, non-tax revenue in place of oil and tax. Because now, who can you tax? You are not talking of ameliorating the situation. You even have to give people money. You can't raise any tax. So do away with relying on tax revenue, get non-tax revenue. Do away with borrowing, you get equity. You know, I mean, there are 4 buttons you can press. You can securitize your assets. All the 4 turns to government assets. You can privatize, and you can liberalize, and you can commercialize all the idle plants and buildings that you have all over the country and generate revenue from them. Those would be my thoughts.